Hi, I'm Ty Brown, owner of CommuniCanine Dog Training here in Utah. Now, I promise in the next few minutes you're going to discover some simple training items that are going to improve your life and your dog's life in no time. But before I get into that and show you some live action footage of what you can do with your dog to help with some aggression issues, let me tell you, I know what it's like to deal with a dog that has aggression problems. Most of my clients come to me because their dog is viciously barking at dogs or people, getting into fights, chasing down people, kids, or other pets, biting, lunging, or otherwise creating quite a problem. Their dog is fearful, anxious, aggressive, and more. For some of our clients, it may be a slight aggression issue with some barking and a low chance that the dog will bite someone. But for others, it's full-blown, save the dog from being put down, this dog has attacked multiple people's dogs, oh my gosh, what am I going to do type of problem. Regardless of whether the aggression issue is small or big, it's still a big liability to you. I don't have to tell you that court cases, lawsuits, and lawyers cost big bucks for dogs that act aggressively. But even if it never comes to that, how much fun is it to live with a dog that is often acting aggressively? And how much fun do you think your dog has living with issues that cause him or her to constantly act out in an aggressive way? Don't worry though. There's a solution and there is hope for your dog. We've developed a system that has over a 99% success rate in helping dogs work through their aggression problems and live more normal lives. In fact, just listen to what a few of our recent students have said. This video comes to us from one of our clients. They posted it to our Facebook page here. And I just wanted to show you, and I'll talk a little bit as I'm playing the video, one of our favorite cases here because this guy was one of the worst cases of aggression that we've ever seen. When we first showed up to work with him, just trying to put a collar on him, he would attack. He had attacked his owners, drawn blood on several occasions. Just trying to get a leash on the guy was next to impossible because he wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow any collars. He wouldn't allow anything. And in a short period of time, here this training took place in less than a month, this dog who had been attacking his owners, who wouldn't listen to a single command, who would jump all over the furniture, who would chew things up, who wouldn't listen. Again, one of the more aggressive dogs we've ever seen. In fact, we had to wear that full body bite suit, you know, the one that you've seen on TV when they're doing like police dog training. We had to wear that full body bite suit in the beginning stages. Now look at this guy. Now look at how obedient he is. Now he's out in public.
That is awesome.
Now he's a regular dog. In fact, after posting this, here the owner says, "I'm the proud owner of the cute dog in the video above, and I'm amazed by the transformation we've seen in him with the help of CommuniCanine. Rufus has gone from rearing on his back legs, thrashing his neck around, and gnashing his teeth to the point of exhaustion when we would try to put a collar on his neck during our first visit with CommuniCanine, to being one of the stars of our group training sessions each month. He happily sits and waits for us to put on his collars, goes to his place when we have guests, and follows commands off-leash. CommuniCanine by no means has a magic solution that solved this problem overnight. They are simply great trainers with absolute devotion to developing happy, balanced dogs. They worked hard for months on training us to handle him and breaking through to him to get him to the point that he is today. After our first session or two, we realized that we didn't have the skills to train Rufus to overcome many of his existing issues. Sensitivity to touch, anxiety, fear. That was holding him back from beginning his obedience training. He went to live with Joe as part of the boot camp for 6 weeks, 3 times as long as the average dog. Joe spent a big portion of his day suited up in the bite suit, working with Rufus to overcome his issues and learning to trust in him. After a couple of weeks, Rufus was able to wear a collar with less of a fight and could finally begin his obedience training. Several weeks after that, we were reunited with Rufus, who for the first time felt like a dog, carefree, happy, and seeking to please. We have since done our best to remain consistent with his training and have continued to receive ongoing support from Joe. We are so grateful that we found CommuniCanine and that they are willing to work with Rufus, who had always been turned away by other groomers, vets, daycare centers, pet sitters. We don't know where we would be if we did not have this intervention. Thanks for believing in Rue and sticking with us." Now, folks, I like using this example quite often because we sometimes get questions of, can you train any dog? You know, almost as if they wouldn't believe that we could train any dog. But hey, can you train any dog? And I often bring up this guy because he had devoted owners, but he was one of the worst, most difficult dogs that we've dealt with. Literally, like I say, to the point where just to handle him, we would have to wear the full bite suit. You know, that big, heavy suit material, because he would try to bite every time. And so ask yourself, is your dog, at this level? Very few dogs are. And so even if you do have a dog that's at this level, this is something that we can help you solve here at CommuniCanine. Or what about this woman on the East Coast? Her dog was set to be put to sleep, and so she purchased our DVD training program, learned our system, and got her dog back on track. Just check out some of her story.
Hi Ty, it's Maureen. I just have to say I am just so pleased. Hold on. Terrible at videotaping myself, but I just have to say that your program, your lesson plans, your DVDs, I can't tell you how much better Teddy has been. What a delight it is to walk with him, that I can even get my exercise, do my cardio, and not have to deal with a dog pulling or a dog fighting with other dogs or chasing other dogs. I'm even having fun because every once in a while I will stop and put him in the down position and just test it out off leash. And it's day 3. I can't believe it. Day 3, and he's just been so fabulous. He's like a new dog. I'm probably not getting him. I'm such a bad videotaper. But I apologize for the lousy videotape, but I just had to send you a message. If you ever need someone to write a letter of recommendation or a video of recommendation, he's just been such a great dog. You wouldn't believe it a month ago that I actually was in court dealing with the local police because of his biting. Local police considered him a dangerous dog, and I was going to have to put him down. And you were my last hope. And out of all the other dog programs that I've tried and the dog trainers, and it's just been 3 days, unbelievable. Could have saved myself so much aggravation had I done this.
These and countless other cases like these are why more Utah dog owners send their dogs to my company for aggressive rehabilitation, and why we have an increasing number of clients who send their dogs to us from around the country for our special brand of solution. In fact, over the past 7 years, I've helped over 500 dogs with aggression issues here in Utah. During that time, we've been voted best of state 4 times because of our work with aggressive dogs. I've even had several judges require that dogs who have bit people come to me in order to be saved from death row. In other words, the system that I've developed, it works. And it can often start working pretty darn quick in order to help you and your dog live a lot better. Speaking of, let me tell you a bit more about the solution you came here for and give you some things you can start working on right away. I've developed what I call my aggression formula. It's a 3-step process that has over a 99% success rate in solving aggression issues. In a nutshell, the formula is, number 1, achieve workable levels of obedience. Number 2, apply that obedience to your dog's aggressive triggers. And number 3, correct the aggression in a way that is humane and makes sense to your dog. In the video I'm about to show you, I'm going to be talking about step number 1, and I'm going to give you a simple tip that any dog owner can do to complete it. Let me define it a bit better first, though. You see, we get a lot of dog owners who come to us for aggression. When we tell them that the first step is to achieve workable obedience, they'll often say, "Oh, well, we've already got that. He knows how to sit, stay, come, even shakes." I'm always pleased that they've taken the time to work with their dog, but they don't have workable obedience. I'll continue with my questions with this client, for example, and I'll say, "Okay, he knows how to come. Will he come when he sees another dog? Or will he come when someone is ringing the doorbell and he's chasing after the sound?" The answer is almost always no. "Okay, he knows how to stay. Can you ask him to lie down and stay while another dog walks right past him or while you answer the door?" Again, the answer is almost always no. You see, there's a big difference between obedience training and workable obedience. You don't solve aggression issues with basic obedience. You solve it with advanced, workable obedience. The type of obedience where your dog comes when called every time, even with distractions of other dogs or people, even off the leash. Or the type of obedience where your dog lies down and stays, even when you're 20 yards away, or someone is ringing the doorbell, or another dog is running past. or the type of obedience where your dog heels perfectly next to your side and ignores all distractions. That type of obedience can help solve aggression. Anything less just won't cut it. And that is why I get clients sending me their dogs from all over to solve their aggression issues, because we're experts at helping dog owners just like you to achieve that level of obedience. I want to show you a quick tip for how you can achieve some workable obedience. But first, let me show you another dog owner just like you and the experience they had. This is our testimonial page here, and as you can see, it's a very long page with a lot of people having written in, sent their pictures. And this represents just a fraction of the testimonials that we get in. I haven't had time to upload everything, but just wanted to share one more with you before I went off and told you exactly some workable tips that you can use. Because this is another one based on aggression, and a lot of people like to hear how dogs just like theirs have been helped through these methods. And so this one says, we're the owners of a 2-year-old Lhasa Apso. Simon is his name. He was lovable and friendly, but only when he wanted to be. He had a mind of his own, which he would use frequently and far too often. Simon had a habit of biting or nipping at people in our home as a way of showing that he was in charge. Well, after he bit our 6-year-old son on the face, we made the decision to find him another home. In the process of searching for a place for Simon to live, we heard about Ty the dog trainer. Our nephew and his family used Ty to train their Lhasa Apso, which produced great results. We had the same experience. Ty came to our home for 3 2-hour sessions over the space of 6 weeks, and it was awesome. After lesson 1, we could already see amazing progress. This once nervous, angry, and aggressive animal had turned into a disciplined, sweet, and friendly pup. Each session proved to be better than the last. The end result is astonishing. We can now take Simon for walks without a leash with no worries, and our little dog now loves people. He is truly a part of the family. Simon is happier, we are happier, and the feeling in our home is calm, loving, and peaceful. We now have a dog who, instead of being a worry and a concern, is well-mannered, well-behaved, and above all, well-trained. Thank you, Ty. Your training methods made all the difference in the world. Like I say, folks, I like to share this because in talking with hundreds and hundreds of dog owners over the years, I know where a lot of you are coming from. A lot of you are frustrated because your dog is bit, or you're afraid that he might bite, or she's super aggressive when she sees this, and a lot of people are worried that they won't be able to fix it. And I wanted to show you these cases to show you that even some of the most extreme cases of dogs biting and attacking, we can solve these cases. Okay, so I promised you that I was going to show you some simple techniques that you could start doing that's going to help you with your aggression issue. Now, what I'm about to share with you is quite simple, but I don't want that to sway you, because oftentimes when something's so simple, people won't pay it too much attention. Oh, that's easy, and they don't think about it. So I'm going to share with you actually a few things. The first thing I wanted to share with you is, if you have a dog with aggression issues, that dog should be on a leash at all times. I'm talking indoors, I'm talking outdoors. All the time we'll get people that, they come to us and they're complaining, oh, the dog is aggressive when someone walks through the front door, or the dog is aggressive when people are in my home, or, things like that. The first thing we need to do is we need to gain control of that situation. One of the biggest mistakes that I see dog owners make is they attempt to train their dogs verbally. So here they are, they're going to go answer the door, their dog's off a leash, they're grabbing, they're pushing, they're kicking, they're doing everything they can to control the dog, when in reality that dog has not earned the right to be off leash in that setting yet. Being off leash is a freedom, and just like with kids, with employees, with anything, freedom is something that's earned as the dog learns how to deal with the stress of somebody at the door. And so like I say, we want the dog on a leash at all times so that we can start controlling the environment around the dog. Now again, this extends to outside. We get people all the time that says, oh, we were out gardening in the front yard and the dog took off and attacked another dog. Well, that dog is not off leash trained. He shouldn't be off leash just yet. He hasn't earned the right to be off leash. And so, or we're at the dog park, and the dog tears off and, attacks another dog or a person or whatever. Again, freedom is something that's earned, and so many people come to us that have given their dogs way too much freedom, way too quickly. The dogs haven't earned it, they don't deserve it just yet. And so, I always tell my clients, you're going to hate me at first, but you're going to love me later, because keeping a leash on a dog is a pain in the rear end. It's not fun, it's a hassle, it causes, it gets tangled up, it's annoying to always kind of have, but it pays so many dividends long term. Now people are always asking, well, I don't want to do that forever, nor do we want our clients to do that forever either. And so there's a couple different ways that we can work the dog away from the leash. One is with some of the more advanced obedience training we do with e-collars at my company, Or what we've had a lot of our clients do in the past is simply teach the behaviors that they want with a regular leash, you know, a nice 4 or 6 foot leash, you know, keep that on at all times. And then as the dog gets better, we graduate to what we call a tab leash. You know, a tab leash is something shorter. And so one of the bigger mistakes, again, that people will make is they teach the dog with the leash and they go no leash. They go cold turkey. And so the dog immediately realizes, hey, they don't have any control over me anymore. I'm going to do whatever I want. And so that's where a lot of people get leash control and off-leash control they don't get. What they're missing is the intermediate tool like this tab leash that allows them to, you know, drag something around, and if they need to be able to control the dog, then we're in good shape. Now that leads me to the next tip that I wanted to give you. Just leaving a leash on the dog is, you know, in the front yard, in the living room, at the park, leaving a leash on the dog is not going to solve the problem. What we need with that leash is we need to start working towards some really great obedience. Again, as I mentioned before, we're only going to solve aggression issues with workable obedience, meaning obedience that works around distractions, obedience that works when, you know, there's people around or dogs around or doorbells being rung or whatever the case might be. So what I want to share with you is something very simple, again, but don't overlook this. In fact, I'm hoping you're taking notes on something like this because it's a very powerful concept that's literally helped thousands of dogs over the years. And what it is what I call my obedience formula. We want our dogs to be obedient the first time, every time. Think about it. If your dog is the one that's aggressive when somebody's at the door, what if you just had your dog lie down and stay? How aggressive can your dog be if he lies down and stays while the person walks in the door? Or if your dog is the dog that's aggressive on a walk, how well is your dog going to lunge at people if he walks right next to your side? How well is your dog going to chase down that kid if he comes when called? Obviously, obedience can counteract all of the aggression issues that most dogs have. And so, like I say, we want our dogs to be obedient the first time because that's going to help you with your aggression issues. So, there's a formula to achieve that. And what that is we're going to give the dog one free command. Free means I'm just going to say the word sit or down or whatever the case might be. If the dog obeys, that's great. I'm going to praise the dog. Good job, good boy, nice pat on the head. If the dog disobeys, I'm going to calmly repeat the command with a correction. Now, correction is generally just a quick tug on the leash. The idea here, we do not want to cause pain. It's not a harmful type thing. We're simply grabbing the dog's attention and helping the dog understand what we want. So on the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one if I need to, I will repeat the command, but I will only say it once for free. Meaning second or third or fourth time, whatever, until the dog